Hey guys, it's been a while. I'm at AIT right now, but I don't officially start AIT until January, like mid-January. I don't know why. I'm considered hold under, so that kind of sucks because now I gotta wait until BBL or HBL, and that's when I get to go home. In this video, I wanted to talk about my experience and maybe what's different at basic training now that COVID is a thing. But other than that, let's get started. So of course, I was at MEPS September 14th. Then I went to reception, and it kind of went how it usually does if you've seen other Army videos, except that of course you've got to wear a face mask now, like all the time. And this is throughout basic training and also here because of COVID. You do the regular at reception, you eat, clean, sleep, you get your clothes, like your PTs, your uniform, and all that stuff still. And then after like the few days you're at reception, you go to whatever base you're going to. Now that COVID is a thing, as many of you probably already know, they added another phase. It's yellow phase. So there's yellow, then red, then white, and then blue. You have 3 ACFTs, 1 for each phase that you need to take. For red phase, you take the ACFT. That one doesn't really count. It's kind of like to see where you're at and what you need to improve on. And all of the things you need to do is the deadlift, the standing power throw, the hand release push-up, the sprint dry carry, the leg tuck, and the 2-mile run. So there's 6 events. Your MOS doesn't matter at basic. You're just gonna try to get the standard for the ACFT, which isn't bad. If you wanna know more about the ACFT, you can find a YouTube video. I'm not gonna explain it because I'm just explaining my experience at basic. And then the next ACFT is at the end of white phase, and that one still doesn't count. That's to like see where you're at, basically. And then the last ACFT, which is the one that matters and that you need to pass, is blue phase. I passed mine because I'm at AIT, but I barely did. I just know that if you like fail any event, like the deadlift, I think you can like kind of fail the leg tuck, but if you don't get that one leg tuck that you need to get, you can do the dead hang, and you need at least 10 seconds. And if you don't do that, then they'll probably recycle, but like send you to a training camp to help you get in shape to pass the ACFT. Talking about that, it'll push back your graduation and you won't be with your company that you were at to graduate. You'd be sent to a different one, which is kind of sad, but that's only if you don't pass the blue phase ACFT. But throughout all of these phases, for me, the drill sergeants can't really get up in your face and yell at you how they usually do apparently, which is nice because you want to keep your distance from everyone, and they still yell at you and smoke you and everything. It's just not like up close and personal. So when I first got to basic, they separated like every platoon by like females, one platoon, males, the other, until like you mix together later in the cycle. For my group of females, the platoon, 4th platoon, we all were separated on 2 floors and then 4 different bays. So there's 15 in each bay that we started off with. Keep in mind, this is yellow phase, and during yellow phase, all we did PT, we did bay maintenance almost every single day because we wanted to keep everything sanitized. Of course, we ate, kept our distance, ate those disgusting hot A's. I mean, I'd eat it still, but it wasn't that great. That's what yellow phase is. You clean, eat, PT, sleep, do your paperwork, of course. But I also need to mention, on the first night of basic, like getting there, we had the shower drill. And that shit was so intense the first day. I was thinking to myself, wow, is this how basic is gonna be like? Like they scream at you up in the base, in the shower. You get less than 2 minutes and they're in the latrine, aka bathroom. But yeah, they yell at you throughout the whole time you're in the latrine. And it's kind of cool and everything, but if you're not used to getting yelled at, you'd probably hate it. Before moving on to red phase, you had to take the COVID test. Of course you did that at reception and everything, but you take it again before you can move into red phase officially, because that's when actual Army training starts. Red phase was the usual. We still didn't mix in with the males. It was just the female platoon still. It could be different for every base. I'm not sure, but that's just what they did for us. So we were still in an all-female platoon. We did Fit to Win, Victory Tower, if you've heard of that, and all that stuff that you do in red phase. Also during red phase is the ruck, aka the hammer, and that's not bad. It's like, they said we walked 7 miles. It's supposed to be 5, it says, but we walked 7.5, and that's not bad. But learn like the radios, gas masks, like you learn about it, and then also you do like the gold and the black drill, and like they're like it's crazy. It's the ruck, but yeah, that's part of red phase. Like the ending, you have to pass that ruck to go into white phase. And then white phase was mainly all about shooting with your M4, M16, whatever it is, and it's really fun because you have to qualify with your back and front iron sights for one, and then you have to qualify again with your CCOs. And for my back iron sights, I got 24. You need 23 to pass. I got 24, and then with my CCO, I got 35, which is like really nice. But mainly every day you do PT, and then you go eat, and then go to the range for however long it takes, and then you go back, eat, do whatever else they need, and then you're done for the day during white phase. So after qualifying, the last thing that you need to do for white phase is the anvil, which is the second ruck. So we walked 8 miles for this. I think the anvil, in my opinion, was probably one of the easier ones, because red phase, the hammer, it's like harder because you're learning everything. You're not used to doing all of that, and it's your first time. And then for the anvil, we basically did the same thing, and it wasn't even that bad. After passing the anvil, we move on to blue phase, which is technically the last phase. So during blue phase, you're basically reviewing, doing everything that you did in the past 2 phases. So you're gonna take the end of cycle tests, you're gonna qualify with grenades, you're gonna do Omaha, and you're gonna do the last ruck. So firstly, Omaha. That's intense. Omaha is basically buddy team live fire. You're gonna be partnered with another person, and you're gonna have to do like low crawls or high crawls, whichever one they say. We did high crawls, but each time like you run behind a barrier, because it's like a long distance, not long, but like you have to crawl a distance away. But while you're crawling behind barriers that are placed in your line with your other buddy, you're shooting at targets. So that's why it's called buddy team live fire, and you have to pass that. Like, it's no joke. At the end of Omaha, at the very last part, you have to throw these dummy grenades, because later in the phase you're gonna have to throw live grenades and pass. For my company, we only threw 1 grenade each. I was expecting 2, but I mean, it wasn't bad. All you do was like hold a live grenade in your hand and you throw it, you know? It's not bad as you think it is, because it's like live. Just don't like milk your hands or like curl it or whatever, and then you'll be fine. So after passing Omaha and throwing the live grenades, which isn't bad, you have to take the end of cycle test, and that's on like reviewing everything that you've learned and done in the past few weeks at basic. So some of the things that we got tested on was like 9-line, medevac or whatever, terrain, and then like weapons, like taking apart your weapon, functions check, like seeing if it works after you take it apart, and then you have to know your like hand signals, like double time or whatever, like stuff like that. And I don't know if it's true, but like I know a lot of people didn't pass it all, so like the end of cycle test wasn't as intense as some people thought it would be. Like, we really overthought it. Like, it wasn't hard at all. Maybe because the sergeants that were grading us didn't really care at this point, but even if you didn't pass some of them, you still passed the end of cycle tests. The last thing that you need to pass for blue phase is the forge, and that sucks so bad. For some reason, I enjoyed the forge more than I did than every other ruck, and the forge is harder. So basically it's a 10-mile ruck, but for my company, we walked 11.5 miles to our base, and it didn't even feel like it for some reason, and I enjoyed it. But that's not the only thing you need to do during the Forged Pass. Another thing you need to do is nick at night. I don't know if you've heard it, but it's where you're low crawling or high crawling through a field with gunfire going over your head and like flares going over as well, and you cannot stand up. You should not stand up. Personally, nick at night was like one of the times where I really wanted to cry and give up, because crawling through that field felt forever. Crawling under the barbed wires wasn't bad, but if you got stuck, it really sucked because there's people behind you crawling as well. And then the next thing you had to do was like shooting at night. So when you're walking back, you're supposed to walk, for us at Fort Jackson, we were gonna walk to Hilton Field after the Forge so that we can graduate. But while we were walking back from my company, we walked, I think they said another 10 miles, but not with our rucksacks, with our salt packs. We weren't expecting it because we thought we were walking to Hilton Field, but they made us work all the way back to our company and then work to Hilton Field. You have to do this thing where you shoot targets with your weapon, of course, during the night, and it was like 1 or 2 a.m. It wasn't bad because all you do is lay in the prone position, like on your chest, legs, whatever, and then you shoot at targets that pop up. Then after we finish the ruck, you get to Hilton Field and you graduate. This is the time where you finally put on your berets. I don't have mine out right now, but you put on your beret, and then the drill sergeants, they come up to you and they put the U.S. Army patch on you. And I personally wanted to cry. I did cry a little bit because it was kind of emotional. I was like thinking, wow, I really did it. I finished basic and I have this army patch finally. That's also when they changed the blue flag to the victory flag, and this is technically considered victory phase, but no one really talks about it, I guess. But it's like a red, white, and blue flag. Victory phase is where you don't really do anything. You return all your equipment, you eat pretty good. They have like the victory feast where the drill sergeants like serve you and all that stuff. And then also you're really cleaning your room, the base, building, but you're also like relaxing kind of. Like the drill sergeants were like really nice and everything like that, which was kind of weird. After all of that was done, of course you had like your official graduation where you walk down Hilton Field, march down, with the entire battalion. And of course you get Soldiers Day where you like get to go out, go eat what you want, whatever they have at the PX. You can buy what you want. I bought a MacBook. I shouldn't have, because I should have waited for Black Friday or Cyber Monday, but you know what, it's fine. And then after that, I went to AIT and now I'm here. Overall, I've really enjoyed my basic combat training experience. I did get in trouble here and there maybe, but like one of them was because I was at the wrong place at the wrong time, because someone else got in trouble, but I was like there. If anything, I would do the whole thing again with the same people. But yeah, thank you for watching my video. It was really jumbled, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like hearing stuff like this maybe. But yeah, I might make a video on how AIT goes. I don't officially start until the middle of January, which sucks, but it is what it is. But yeah, thank you for watching my video. I might post another one, don't know when, but yeah, bye. Thank you.